We're currently driving to New Life Gym. I'm in Glasgow, where I live. I absolutely love this city. Right now we're just going past the Botanics, which is one of my favourite places to spend the weekend. I grew up in a small town, so moving to a city that isn't quite a city in terms of its infrastructure, but has the hustle and bustle of a city. It's brilliant. It has great multiculturalism, great food, and when people ask me like, oh, when I'm coming to Glasgow, what should I go see? Like, there's no big tourist attraction. We don't have a Big Ben or Edinburgh Castle, but we do have that slogan, "People make Glasgow," that was up on buildings, and I think the people are the tourist attraction, and we're going to go meet one of them today. One of my favourite people in Glasgow, David Galbraith, previous guest of the podcast, and my boxing coach for a workout. Morning, mate.
Morning. Camera's rolling.
How are you? Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
See, when you hear people like say to your son, his friends say, "I can't believe your dad was that crazy," do you ever think, "I can't believe I was that crazy," when you kind of hear it out of context now that you're like out the other side of it?
Not really. Like, there's a lot of parts of me that's still the same person. Like, I think like it was a big change in my behaviour. I just don't feel like that much different or anything like that. So it's not that I don't believe it. It's normal to me.
Same person, different behaviour. You spoke about how like there's some people that are Ferraris who are built for racetracks. There's specific environments that reward aggressive red zone behaviour. What you have done here is you've recognised that you have that and others in the community might have that, and you've created that race course or racetrack or environment for people to be themselves, but in a controlled, well-behaved, sensible, validatory, that's the word, environment, validating environment perhaps. That you've created that race course or racetrack for people like you and people like Stephen and people in the community. Today we're in New Life Gym with familiar face David Galbraith, my boxing coach, good friend and previous guest and host of my podcast. When I'm recording a podcast in the session, I love to get a workout in the morning. I love coming here to New Life, I love doing boxing, so David's going to run me through some drills today and we're going to have a chat whilst we're doing it. But this is the perfect way to start the day ahead of a full day of recording. See, now that's how you speeding up. Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen like in movies, like it goes slow-mo when someone's about to get knocked out and you see like the cartoon hand coming? It feels so quick and animated. Even though that you're throwing like 10% of your capacity, that's so quick.
Oh, really?
Because I think when we like play tag or spar or whatever, there's a high level of trust that we have with each other. Like, I know you're not going to go full pill or go cycle mode on me and knock me out, and equally you know that I'm still new in comparison to you, and that you trust that I might make a mistake and accidentally hit you. And I think because we've got both that conversational trust that we have with each other, the amount of time we spend outside the gym, that we can trust each other inside the gym as well.
For me, it's like not taking liberties. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to move, I'll go. You go. I'll let you work. Like, I know I've got the more experience in that situation. I'll always aim to bring out the best in that person. Just like I remember you said to me in your podcast, you says, my job is to make that person look good, and my job as a coach is to make that person feel good. 1, 2, slap. Yeah, again.
Awesome, mate. I'll see you soon. That's okay. See you, Bims. Bye. Group left to Hudson. Guest has moved the timings forward to 10, but we're ready to go. Thanks for supporting me.
Anytime, man.
Every morning I start my day with supplements, and my oldest podcast sponsor is Vibey. Gordon and Rory have been backing me since I started this journey before anyone listened, and they've sent me something to open today. I have their complete meal shake, which I use on the go when I'm travelling to London on podcast shoots. If I need to eat something that's nutritionally dense, I'll have that on the go. They have sent me their lion's mane mushroom powder. It's a cognitive enhancer or a nootropic. And Brains Care Smart Greens. Everyone's drinking greens at the moment. I get mine from Vibey. So thank you, Vibey lads, for continuing to sponsor not only me but my health. I'll have some lion's mane later with a coffee. We're just about to head into the studio in the city centre of Glasgow to record an episode with Bems, and then I'm going to do a solo podcast after that, back to back. And doing a workout this morning really gives me that energy that I need to go into the conversation, but because it was a boxing workout, you're required to focus on the pads and the drills, and it's almost translatable into the podcast, because I guess podcasting is like verbal sparring. That's one way to look at it. So the guest says something that's like a jab, and I have to catch the jab and then return with something. And yeah, doing that workout really sets me up, but it gives me the good feeling endorphins, and it's just a habit that I try and have every weekend, if not every day.
And grateful to call you a friend as well.
Well, end on that. That's awesome.
Super.
Cheers, bro.
Amazing.
That's sick, man. Wholesome tendon as well. That's
I know,
appreciate it.
No.
So today we're doing 2 podcasts in the studio, back to back, but we need to make it seem like it's 2 different recordings, 2 different days. So you're going to watch me get changed. Well, you're not going to watch it, we're going to skip this part. But yeah, sometimes you've got 2 recordings in a day, and sometimes you have to make it seem like it's 2 different days. Welcome back to the Development by David podcast with me, your host David McIntosh. This week, your guest is me. Solo podcast wrapped up, 2 in the bag today. Even changed my t-shirt. Gonna go for some lunch, I think. But I hope you enjoyed seeing behind the scenes of what it takes to record this thing. Like I said, I don't do this as a full-time gig. This is a Sunday in the life of a podcaster. But I hope it encourages you to do that side hustle that you've always been thinking of. Yeah, I could be at a coffee shop right now, hanging with friends. I could be in a pub. But this is my hobby. I love doing it. And bringing you along for the ride has been pretty fun. But yeah, do the thing. Start the podcast. This is Paul's studio. I've been in here for how many years now? 3 years?
I don't know, man. I think we met, 2021 we met, so it's been 3 years. So it's mental. I've been doing the studio since 2020. No here, but I had a place at Charing Cross, and I've moved down here to George Square in July. So it's been 4 months, and I've been personally recording and editing and producing podcasts since 2015. So I was an early adopter for sure.
What do you make of the podcasting sphere in Glasgow? I think it's on the rise. Because obviously you're seeing all of the podcasts.
I think when you're in it, it's hard to really really know what's happening. I think somebody that watches podcasts would be a better person to sort of tell you that. I think as far as productions go, there's more demand than ever, and there doesn't seem to really be a big player. So I think as things naturally, it's a growth industry. As it grows, there'll be more competition for me, but I welcome it, because if I don't get competition, I'll just stand still. You know, if I'm the best, I'm the best, and that's it.
Just finished recording 2 podcasts in the city centre of Glasgow. We went in and it was pissing and rain, and now we're out and the sun's out. It's the most Scottish thing to have happened. Literally 2 hours apart. It seems like we're 4 seasons apart. But we're here in George Square. It's beautiful. I absolutely love Glasgow. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I understand why they film Batman and all these Avenger films here. Brilliant. What do you make of the pizza?
Fantastic, to be honest. Definitely up there with one of the best pizzas I've had.
For anyone that's just tuning in, this is Andres, the videographer behind many of the shoots. Jimmy Carr, example, Nina Nesbitt. He's off behind the camera, But right now he's scranning in front.
This is what the payment looks like. Getting paid in pizza, and to be honest, I can't really fault it.
So you're working on the podcast with me, been on these shoots. What are some of the pinch me moments or greatest moments that you've experienced?
Probably working with Example, just because it's somebody like I pure listened to like back in the day. Like Watch the Sun Come Up was always like a pure banger in my house, and I suppose the Jimmy Carr episode as well is like it's got to be like up there, isn't it? Pure top tier. It's like literally the best.
350. And before we started shooting, the banner you guys were having before was fucking hilarious as well. Like you just casually chatting.
Oh my god, we're getting attacked by napkins. He was like, oh, could you get the gimp out? I was like, right here, Jimmy. I knew that was mine.
Thanks for joining us during this day in the life video. Hope it was insightful to see behind the scenes of the podcast, what it takes to make it happen. There's no magic, it's just some good people shooting good conversations, a good workout, good pizza, and finishing up with some good coffee or matcha. This is how it looks every Sunday when we're doing one of these podcasts in person. Andres has joined me all day to hopefully give you maybe an opportunity to see what it takes to start your own. Like I said, it's not special, it's not magic, there's no special recipe, it's just a bit of graft on a Sunday. But hope you enjoyed it, and we'll do it again.